I'm Charlie. I play the drums.
I'm Bronte. I play bass and vocals.
I'm Zeke. I play guitar and I do vocals.
I'm Cullen. I play guitar.
I'm Myles. I play keys.
What's something that's influenced you and your art that you've never gone to talk about before?
Oh, shit.
Whoa.
I have one. Been getting really into horror movies lately, and the final girl scream. I'm trying to work that into the set, which, if you guys were at the DIY last night, I'm sure you see me like lose my shit at the end. I guess I haven't really talked about that, but I like to pretend I'm getting murdered when we play just to really emulate that fear. But yeah.
Slint.
We talk about that all the time, though.
Love Slint.
Okay.
When people discover you and your music, what is the first thing you want them to think?
Slint.
I really want them to just think, what the fuck just happened? I think that's our main goal, usually. It's just, like, brutally just, like, be ourselves on stage and, like, after the show. And, yeah. That's probably it.
I've noticed going through your work that animals, and particularly dogs, have been like a running theme throughout the music and like the artwork. Is that something you guys tried to do, or just a coincidence?
I do a lot of just like writing, like poetry and stuff outside of the music. So I think the dog motif is just something I've always been into within writing, and then just translated into like the visual side of the band pretty naturally from that, I think. Yeah.
Do you guys feel trapped at all by the current system of streaming and algorithms?
Yes.
Definitely. But we did CDs and tapes for our demos recently, and people actually bought them and like cared about it, which was really cool to us, because felt like we had a chance to like break out of that whole streaming world for a moment.
I think it's like a bit of a blessing and a curse though, because I think genre specific to what we do, a lot of the bands that are doing similar stuff are in America, and they're really small, just like us. And I think without the accessibility of streaming, we wouldn't discover those bands and be able to be influenced by them. But at the same time, from like an artist point of view, or like a sales point of view, I guess, it's kind of shitty because there's like more competition, and like there's less appreciation for physicals and albums as a whole.
Do you think making physical like copies of your work makes a more personal connection between you and your audience?
Most definitely. Our like archives at home are just like stocked with everything we've ever done, of just having like a master copy of each release, and like we have all of our shirts that we've ever made just like sitting in a cupboard somewhere. Like it's really important to us, I think. And that like in 5 years we could look back at it and like maybe nothing will happen, but at least we'll have this thing that we can like hold on to and like look at like in person and see like what we achieved.
What other art forms outside of music are all you guys interested in?
I very much enjoy reading and books. I'm super into philosophy, so I read quite a lot of both like more essay type philosophy, but also philosophical novellas, and I think that kind of inspires me when it comes to creating music as well.
I'm the same with Myles in that regard, where we both read a lot, particularly non-fiction specifically, but also like long form video essays on YouTube, just about any topic. Just having people talk about things that they really care about, I find very inspiring, even if it's something that I would have otherwise not engaged with at all.
I read and write a lot of poetry. I think that's probably the main art form, even above music for me, is reading and writing. Mainly that like stream of consciousness style writing, where someone's just flowing through like a very descriptive like version of their life, or like a moment in their life. That's what I really enjoy reading.
I would say mine would probably be art in like different forms, whether that's like illustration, animation, or I do like a lot of crocheting. Like last tour we had a run of like one of a kind beanies that I would just make in the car. And I think, I don't know, I definitely enjoy doing that. Music's like a number one for me at the moment, but even like music and like writing has definitely helped with my art as well. So it's like they kind of go hand in hand and they're both very helpful to me.
I write a little bit as well, although it's like typically in a musical context. I've always really enjoyed writing, but I think most of my creative interests lie within music, which I think is fortunate for being able to like apply myself to it and put a lot of energy into it.
What inspired the use of spoken word in your music?
Slant.
No, I think the concept of like breaking down like what a song could be, I guess, and I don't know, it's really easy to like just try and write the best hook ever and like make that your whole goal, but I find it way more fun to try and like say something in a speaking format whilst trying to like play the guitar at the same time. I find that challenging, and then it becomes really rewarding in the end of it.
So individually, what is the best live show each of you guys have ever been to?
Anyone have an answer?
I do actually. It's like very out of left field considering what we do, but I saw Wise Blood live at the Opera House in June, and it was probably one of the best shows I've ever been to. It was just like such a captivating experience, and has like stage presence was just like amazing. I was just sitting there in my seat the whole time in awe, just like wow. And usually like I tend to not listen to an artist very much after I've seen them live, but I was just like, I don't know, I just wanted to keep listening after seeing that.
The most enjoyment I've gotten from a gig was Shady Nasty at the Lass on the day before New Year's in Newcastle. It was just a combination.
Shout out Shady.
Shout out Shady Nasty. They are just such good performers, and I knew every word to every song, and so did the crowd. It was immaculate vibe. Immaculate vibe.
When I was like 12, I went to the Enmore Theatre to see this band called Fun. They had this one song called Some Nights. I really actually think that changed me as a human. I don't know how to explain it, but seriously, probably the most fun I'll ever have. That childlike wonder was still present, so yeah.
I'm not even sure this counts as like a live show, it's just live music, but when I was maybe like 15 or 16, just found myself in a random like dive bar that used to be like an old bowling alley, and there was just this 3-piece jazz band playing. And I just remember just being way too into it for like a basic fucking 15-year-old. But I don't know, I really liked it, and I think about that bar all the time. I'm definitely going to try to go back soon. Hopefully that band's still playing.
I think it's really hard to choose a best live performance, and I think it's kind of constantly rotating just based on like what I can remember. But off the top of my head, I don't know if I can narrow it down to one specific performance, but I think fairly consistently I get a lot of gratification out of watching Twine, who we played with last night. They're a band from Adelaide, and I just think it really comes down to the catharsis of their performance and the emotion present in their performance. It's like, it's really really leaves you speechless, and it's like just captivating in such a specific way that's impossible to forget, I guess.
If you could remove or change one thing about the music industry, what would it be?
I would remove beer sponsorships and replace them with Dr. Pepper.
That's such a good call. Beer sponsorships need to get the fuck out of music. They're the worst. I hate them. and beer is kind of gross in Australia, if I'm honest. But yeah.
Beer culture.
Beer culture, yeah. And drinking from the age of 14 in Australia is fucking weird. So, yeah.
I think we would make all ages shows a more prominent thing. I think that's a big difference between the Australian scene and the American scene, specific to our genre, is that people don't actually get the opportunity to see shows of like smaller to like middle level or middle sized artists rather, until they're like, you know, of age, of drinking age, which I think is bullshit because, you know, you don't. I don't think that experience should be restricted to those that can get fucked up, you know? So, I think there'd be, like, quite a lot of other stuff, to be honest, as well.
There's probably 4 medium-sized venues in Australia. Everything's either tiny or massive, and there's no in-between, so it's really difficult to try and... I mean, we're still tiny, but... The people who are ahead of where we are and the people that we look up to can't tour Australia because they can't fill out the Enmore, but also they don't make any money off a 100-person cap venue.
Would you guys associate what you make with any particular genre? And if not, why not?
I guess we can, as a blanket statement, say emo music, but less for the sound and more the ethos behind it. Because whilst it's all, like... based within emo, like pushes further away from that, like in a lot of different moments, but still like rooted within that idea, I guess. But yeah, as an ethos, definitely like emo music.
I think like most music being created today, or like guitar music at least, it's like a fairly new blend of like a lot of different genres, like post-rock, like emo, like post-hardcore, like scram. So I guess it's hard to narrow it down to one, but it's under that general blanket for sure. Yeah.
And considering you've explored so much already with all those genres you listed, is there one that you'd like to explore that you haven't explored yet?
We started recently exploring more the post-rock thing with one of the new tracks we're writing, because like right now a lot of what we have written is very post-hardcore, emo, I guess. But then we have this one recently we've been working on that does a bigger like post-rock outro, which has been fun to like fuck about with, definitely.
I feel like I would want to fuck with country a bit more.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like MJ Lennon type country type beat type.
Or like Wednesday. Shout out Wednesday. We don't know them. I just wanted to shout them out.
You don't get the microphone, bro. Yeah, no, country music definitely.
Sick. Who should we interview next?
Who would be like funny or real interesting? You should try to interview Fraser, I reckon.
Yeah, Fraser would be really epic to interview, I think. What are you looking at me for?
Well, because I'm just like, there's like people floating around in my head right now.
I think you should give the propane team a bottle of wine and 6 beers and then interview them. And let Pogo and TK just tear each other to shreds on camera.
I feel like that'd be really good.
Yeah.
You got any questions, Tom?
Do you have anything more you want to say?
Love. Put your hand up to the screen, guys. Love. And check out the rat tail progress.
Rat tail progress.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, alright.